Burn bright, let the ember shine. You know I'm gonna get it every time. Champion, wearing the crown. I can see my name in lights. Spark from the heart and it shines so bright. Yeah, so let the whole world know. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to another Saturday night, another weekly edition of Madden simulating the weekly matchup for the Carolina Panthers. This week, as we travel to Los Angeles to take on the Los Angeles Rams, who have been licking their wounds for the last few weeks, could be looking forward to this week against the Panthers as a get-right game. Certainly, with the injuries that we have, with the turmoil within the front office, there's certainly a lot of evidence pointing to this being an ugly game for the Carolina Panthers, but the Rams certainly not playing like the world champions that they were last February. Tonight, we're going to be joined by the one and only Cody Lashney, and he is here to discuss the Carolina Panthers, watch the Carolina Panthers in the Madden simulation, and see if Madden really has the finger on the pulse of the Carolina Panthers. Cody, I'll tell you this. I did my best to try to update the rosters with the information that we have. And I am certainly concerned about our defense without J.C. Horn, without Jeremy Chin, potentially getting Luvu back, which is good. Xavier Woods is coming back. But right now, we have a question mark on Dante Jackson and C.J. Henderson, both showing up on the injury report. Certainly makes it a little bit more concerning as we go to Los Angeles to face what can be an explosive offense with their running game and the passing game.
Yes, you can. Listen, the calling card of the Carolina Panthers has defense. Our offense has, for the past 3 years, been ranked one of the worst offenses in the NFL. And now we're facing defending Super Bowl champions. We're going to be missing some players on defense. It's an uphill battle, man. This is a pivotal matchup for Steve Wilks. I kind of feel bad for the dude, man. It's like, you're missing so many players on defense. You're still trying to jumpstart this offense. I'll tell you what, though, it is a perfect opportunity for our offensive players to step up in a way that they haven't done this year. Maybe Steve Wilks will provide that boost. It ought to be fun, man. Madden kind of shortchanges us a lot, but maybe this will be the spark that changes our trajectory a little bit. And by the way, I'm currently also side-eyeing my Clemson Tigers playing the Noles. I see you, skunk. Go Tigers, baby. If I do yell out randomly during the stream, you know why my Tigers scored a touchdown. But you know what? I'm here. Happy to be here with my brother CK. Happy to have these incredible people in the chat. CK, you already know them and love them. We got J Issue, Making True Money, DZI Skills, Nick Montero, Pad 1 Panther, Rock Rhyme, Skunk 8 Mysteries, Stephen Veach, Zach, and the man himself, Tentizzy. I normally say this to Tony Dunn, but tonight you're the special one, CK. And nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
Let's roll. We shall. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this up, and we're going to get it started. But I tell you what, there's a couple of reports that we had come out today that tells us that some of that stuff that you were reporting on with your sources may not be too far from reality with the potential trading of Robbie Anderson and Christian McCaffrey. We're going to find out if that's true or not. But what I expect, if that is true, is we're going to see a heavy dose of Robbie Anderson and Christian McCaffrey this week in an effort to inflate their draft capital as we move closer to that trade deadline. But we'll see how that looks as we get closer.
It was being reported by Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, all the big-time people, that there is a lot of interest in Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
And that they keep on ringing our phones. And the Panthers are listening to these calls. It's also been confirmed that the Panthers are open to shopping Robbie Anderson. And these are both things that my source told to me on October the 11th, early in the morning on October 11th. And man, my sources have been looking pretty bulletproof, CK. But look, forget about patting me on the back. What does that mean for this team? I mean, if you're Steve Wilkes trying to audition to be the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, your offense is already so lax, and now you're trading away two pivotal pieces of the offense, arguably the most pivotal piece of the offense, and Christian McCaffrey. It doesn't look too good for Steve Wilkes.
Well, I think that if I had to guess, Steve Wilkes is looking at the future, right? Robbie Anderson certainly doesn't really. I mean, it's too smart of a move to move away from him, right? From a distraction perspective. But the Christian McCaffrey decision is going to be an odd one because the thought is he might have the same mentality that you do, Cody, and that running backs are replaceable. Certainly, it's not possible to replace a Christian McCaffrey. Well, I wouldn't say possible, but it's much more unlikely to replace a guy like Christian McCaffrey. But what I will tell you is Steve Wilkes probably has a belief that when you have a running back by committee approach that we can have with Chuba and Deontay, that's something that could be that could propel our offense into a different stratosphere. But the Carolina Panthers look like they're going to be getting the ball first as they just received the kickoff, brought it out to the 25-yard line. Shi Smith did. PJ Walker here to start the game. An interesting little note. He's an undefeated starter in the NFL as quarterback. Now that's a little bit of a skewed number. It's a bit misleading, if you will, but it's hard to argue the results, Cody.
Hey, it's true nonetheless. And look, say what you want about PJ Walker. No one is more willing to push the ball downfield on big plays than PJ Walker, more so than any other quarterback that's in our quarterback rooms. Okay, so hey, maybe PJ can provide the spark that our offense so desperately needs.
Right there, he gets it to DJ Moore across the middle, brings up a 2nd and inches, and he's starting out with a nice, easy completion across the middle. Gets the ball out quickly. He didn't hold on to it too long. And this offensive line, by the way, much more improved. And the league and the I guess is starting to recognize how much better this line is, as Icky has been has the highest rated PFF's grade of any left tackle, not just rookie, but any left tackle from last week's performance against the 49ers. I know it didn't feel like it was a great outing, but that offensive line did incredible things. Christian McCaffrey takes it across the 40, brings up a first down after gaining 8.
And that's what you're hoping for, CK. I mean, he had some rough patches earlier on, but he's a rookie. And I really think that he's ingratiated himself to that position. He's gotten over some of those rough patches. Kim Kwanu was the highest rated tackle on my board and on many other boards for that reason. He has such a high skill set. He's incredibly strong, and he continues to grow into that role. So I think he's going to be one of the biggest assets on this team for a long time to come.
What I love, and Christian McCaffrey gets the rock again, but goes nowhere, stood up after a 2-yard gain. Icky has gotten better every single week. He started out rough. His second game was better, but not great. Third game, we weren't talking about him, was good, which is very good, right? Fourth game, he comes out and blows it out the water. And now we're going into week 5 after starting 1-3. And Christian McCaffrey gets the first down after getting past. Hey, listen, that's something we haven't seen a lot of, is Christian McCaffrey getting involved in the passing game. Last week, they tried their hardest. Felt like Christian McCaffrey couldn't get anywhere. I was luckily at the game, not just here commentating on the Madden simulation, but I actually made it out to the game, front row, and it did not feel like Christian McCaffrey had the game that the stats showed that he had.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not a coincidence that the Panthers are going to want to run the football. And I think that's something that you're going to see a lot tomorrow with Steve Wilkes as the new head coach. It's time to run the football. Now, it will be interesting if the Panthers are going to try and shop Christian McCaffrey. Do they run him a lot tomorrow? do you risk getting him injured if you intend to ship him out the door? It's almost like you're devaluing your own assets at
You
that
have
point.
to.
So
You
it'll be
have to.
interesting to see how much they do run him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be with PJ Walker at the helm. I think it's going to be a heavy dose of Christian McCaffrey as PJ Walker takes a run down the middle, gets across the first down marker, brings up a 1st and 10 as he gets across the 35-yard line to the 34 of the Rams. And they are driving on their first drive of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they're in rhythm. They're doing some nice things, and this is what we've wanted for a long time. Simplify the playbook. That's all you have to do. It doesn't have to be that hard. That might have been a late hit, by the way, but whatever. I'm sure Madden read it just as much as the real ones.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, listen, PJ's mobile. Christian McCaffrey is the centerpiece of the offense. Don't make it too hard.
And almost intercepted. Ian Thomas finds a way to come down with it, pushing for a few extra yards, brings up a 2nd and 4, much more manageable. And this is where I think we had struggled as an offense all year, is getting these 2nd and manageable, 3rd and shorts, right? Our 3rd down conversion is horrible, historically bad so far this year. But a part of that has to do with the lack of movement on the 1st and 2nd down. Here they were able to start out 2nd and 4, and it's intercepted on the boundary. PJ Walker trying to get it to Christian McCaffrey, and he comes in for the stop there, but unfortunate that he just threw that right to the opposing team. I can't remember who that is.
Just like that, PJ giveth and PJ taketh away, man. That's a rough one.
Durant. All right, looks like PJ Walker wanted to start out this drive showing the best and the worst of basically you're getting the entire experience with PJ Walker right out of the gate here as he throws an interception on his first drive after driving into enemy territory. That's usually when the field, I guess, shortens, is when you see PJ make those mistakes. He tends to have those interceptions in the red zone on the opposing side of the field, and that makes that much more difficult to swallow because you felt like you were going to be pulling something out there, and they weren't able to make it happen. This defense going to have a big test today. You're going to see Dante Jackson and CJ Henderson in there today because we just don't. They're still questionable as they're able to stop him short after a 1-yard gain. Matt Stafford completes his first pass of the game to Allen Robinson, who's been quiet on the year, some might say.
Yeah, I mean, Robinson is someone that everyone expected to have a big-time year this year. It's going to be interesting to see how this defense is. Now, CK, you did mention that you took the inactives for tomorrow. So there's no JC Horn. There's no Luvu. This is going to be an uphill battle for this Panthers defense. And we even mentioned that CJ Henderson and Dante Jackson are listed as questionable for tomorrow. So
yes,
we might be vulnerable to their passing attack, especially with Cooper Kupp out there on the field.
That's going to be a big concern, is how these guys hold up against a guy like Cooper Kupp. Allen Robinson may eat tomorrow. It may be his best game of the season tomorrow, especially if this front can't get pressure. But I got to tell you, this is going to be the type of game that Steve Wilks is going to be calling a lot of blitzes. If you guys recall from his time as a defensive coordinator here under Ron Rivera, he was a very blitz-happy defensive coordinator. We weren't the best defense in the league, but I tell you what, they were getting home a lot, and it was either you're going to beat us or you're not going to do anything. And fortunately for him, he did seem to do a good enough job to Cam Akers is out as well. I don't know why they've got him in there. But it got him a head coaching job in Arizona just a year after, after 1 year of being a defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, the leash is not very long in the NFL. It's, you have to prove it. You have to prove yourself early and often. And again, there were rumors that Steve Wilks didn't even like a lot of the backup players that we've had on this team. So now you're quite literally depending on some of those dudes to make big plays for you. And
They let a
another first
big,
down.
yeah, they stopped Cam Akers in the backfield for a 1 yard loss. The previous play, they were able to come back on a 2nd and 11, get a first down after passing it to their tight end Higbee. Brings up 1st and 10 as they cross Carolina Panthers 25-yard line to the 23.
Yeah, I mean, this defense, we need to get after the passer.
Allen Robinson having a good first drive of the game here. He's already got 3 receptions for 18 yards, and he's moved the sticks a few times with those catches.
Do you feel as though we have enough adequate pass rush on this team to get after Matthew Stafford tomorrow?
Not in the, and there we go, Stafford.
Oh, as I say that, huh? Maybe I jinxed that into happening. YGM with the sack.
Gross Matos gets the first sack of the game against Matt Stafford, brings up a big time 2nd and 19 after Matt holding onto the ball a little bit too long. The only thing that I think this could be to our benefit tomorrow is their starting center is going to be out. So they have already problem. They have a very injury riddled offensive line as it is. Without Whitworth, they were already struggling with injuries piling up. It's certainly not looking great for that offensive line, but I think Steve Wilkes being blitz happy tomorrow will probably find a way to get some pressure as Dante Jackson gets the stop, brings up a 3rd and 12 after a 7-yard gain, and that is Skoric or whatever his name is. As you can tell, I'm not familiar too much with the Rams players, but except for the superstars, if you will.
Not a lot of Cooper Kupp early on, I've noticed.
Not a lot of Cooper Kupp, and I'd be interested to see who Madden has him on. He's wide open there in the flat.
No pass rush at all whatsoever.
Right over Henderson, too.
Wow. That's rough.
3rd and 12.
Really rough.
3rd and longs, I talked about our offense not being able to convert the 3rd and longs and needing to make progress on the first downs and the second downs to make it 3rd and short, right? However, when it's 3rd and long, it seems like this defense always gives up those big plays when the opposite opponent needs that. And there they were able to accomplish that. Brings up a extra point here as they're hoping to bring it to 7-0. Capitalizing off of a PJ Walker interception on the opposite end of the field.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams did what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to score points off turnovers. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, and by the way, it's actually kind of true to life, too, that PJ Walker throws most of his interceptions in the red zone. They're literally the most inopportune of times. We absolutely can't have that, man. We had a good offensive drive going. And then after that big sack by Jatur Gross-Matos, man, just absolutely zero pass rush. It shows you what Madden really thinks of our defense, you know?
Yeah, Madden certainly a few missed opportunities, if you will. And Shy Smith brings it out to the 23. Excuse me. And Blackshear certainly not fielding the kickoffs here in Madden, apparently, but they're still getting up to the 25-yard line. Blackshear doing an incredible job last week. When I was there, it was electrifying when he was moving up the field. Unfortunately, getting tackled twice by the kicker. Can't feel great after getting all the way to the 50-yard line, but I'll tell you what, it's been a while since we felt we had an explosive kick returner, and he showed out in his first game as a Panther. Ian Thomas, almost breaks that tackle, brings up a 2nd and 1.
It's like every time we get a little bit of a rhythm, something happens to stifle it. So hopefully we can continue moving the ball effectively here.
Yeah, PJ Walker is single back here. Nobody in the backfield there with him. passing it to nobody. Ian Thomas was wide open. Easy catch and pitch and catch there if put on target. And unfortunately, just throws about 5 yards out of the reach of Ian Thomas.
Yeah, it might be a long night, CK.
Might be a long night. You're not wrong. And you got to keep in mind this offense is going to be going against a defense that can be scary with Aaron Donald and Christian McCaffrey is able to push it across the line to game right through Aaron Donald and brings up a first down. But we're going to be facing Aaron Donald. We're going to be facing Jalen Ramsey. If we thought that our wide receivers couldn't get separation before, I think we're going to have a little bit of a realization that maybe it's going to be a little bit more tough tomorrow. But we're going to see. It could be a situation where they underprepare for us and they start looking forward to their next opponent, looking past the Carolina Panthers, thinking this is an easy win, and maybe Steve Wilkes is provide enough fire to make these guys go out there and play their hearts out.
Big time, first and 10.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey gets 4. He seems to slow up there when he could have exploded through that gap and tried to get a first down, but still not a bad play. Gets a 4-yard gain, brings up 2nd and 6.
I love how all the Panthers offensive linemen in Madden look like sumo wrestlers.
Yeah, it's they definitely looks like they've been eating their Thanksgiving dinners on a nightly basis here.
Yeah, absolutely.
No gain there on that run. Leonard Floyd was able to tackle him for no gain, sticks him at the line of scrimmage, and brings up a 3rd and 6. And again, the Achilles heel of an offense where we are probably the worst that I've ever seen from a team as far as our offense, our 3rd down conversion rate. And almost intercepted, almost picked back up by Robbie Anderson. And Robbie Anderson almost saved the day.
Dude, these Madden simulations are pretty rough.
They're rough. They're rough.
But it just shows you that we don't have a quarterback on our roster. Like, why would Madden give them a good accuracy number? None of them on our roster have proven to have good accuracy. So it's, know, here we are punting again. By the way, congratulations to our guy, Panther Pickle. He's a big-time Tennessee Volunteers fan, and they got a big win over Alabama today. So they're still undefeated. Yeah, and by the way, another name that we need to continue to monitor as we build up to the draft here, then Hooker. He's this year's Joe Burrow. He's kind of older. The age is kind of scaring people a little bit. But I'll be damned if this young man doesn't have all the physical talent and tools that you want in a quarterback. Deep ball, mobility.
Matt Ioannidis, by the way, is not even close to being that big.
No.
I do not know what Madden is doing. I saw him in person at the game, and I'm telling you, the dude looks more athletic than that. I am not lying. Like, I don't know. They got this dude looking like he's wearing a floaty in a pool or something like that around his stomach, bro. I just don't understand what Madden is seeing in these tackles and guards and whatnot. But doing Matt Ioannidis dirty with the graphics here.
Yeah, I mean, they do everyone dirty. You know, like they make them all these big, rotund, Kyle Love-looking dudes. Shout out Kyle Love, by the way.
You know what I didn't think about doing is removing Matt Rule from the game. So you might see some shots of him if you haven't already.
Haven't we seen enough of this dude? CK?
Just give us an opportunity to say bye to him. I'll tell you what, it's interesting to know that I've seen Matt Rule within from just a matter of 10 or 15 feet away from me walking into the tunnel for the last time as a Carolina Panthers head coach. And that's something that I'll always take with me. Maybe it was me that needed to go to these games. Maybe I'm the good luck charm here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, maybe we can continue to call him Rat Mule just to bring up good times, you know?
You had to talk about Cooper Kupp not getting any targets there.
Yeah, I know. And then
Justin Burris gives up a first down on a 3rd and short and keeps the chains, keeps the Rams drive alive. It's not much you can do there, Justin Burris. Cooper Kupp adjusting, slowing up, try to catch up to the ball, allow Matt Stafford to get a back shoulder throw to him, giving him the only opportunity to get that that's making sure it was only in the hands of Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, and Cooper Kupp is one of the very best receivers in the NFL. You put that ball
Matt
near
Stafford
him.
almost picked
Oh,
off.
almost a pick. That went
Dante
right
Jackson
to
gotta
Dante
hold on to
Jackson.
that.
Well, but that's what they say, CK. They play cornerback for a reason because they don't have good enough hands to play receiver.
Dante Jackson has got to be maybe the exception to that. I don't know that I've seen him drop many picks, so they're not doing him any favors with the performance here in Madden. But nonetheless, we're able to bring up a big 3rd and 7. You got to imagine they're going to find a way to convert this, right, Cody?
I mean, it looks so far like they're on pace to do that, but I don't know, man. I've seen stranger things happen.
And
I
it's a
don't mean the
flag
Netflix
on
show.
Yatur Gross Matos. But they get the first down basically anyway. They're going to accept it if it's a.
Yep.
They're going to accept it. Nope, it's a decline. They're going to decline and take the first down.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Take the yards.
We got to keep our options open at quarterback in this draft, even with Corral coming off injury at some point next year. Anytime you have a broken foot or some sort of a Liz Frank injury, you certainly have to take pause with the idea of moving forward with that person being your sole hope. But me and Cody have been debating a little bit as they stopped the run for only a 2-yard gain there. Cam Akers, again, not going to be playing tomorrow. I thought I took him out, but apparently I did not succeed in doing that. But Matt Corral, I do want to see the guy have an opportunity. I want to see him have a chance to win a game, win the starting job. But the good news, and this is what I think we're going to see next year, even if we draft a quarterback, it's going to be Matt Corral and the whoever we draft in the draft next year that are at the helm, unless they go for a Lamar Jackson or something. So the benefit, I think, to you, Cody, is I think you're really going to see an opportunity for Matt Corral to compete for a starting job. If not, he's going to be a backup. And as we know in this league, there's a likability that he is going to see the field as either a starter or as a fill-in, as not that we hope that this happens, but we're probably going to have him on the field sometime next year as a quarterback for the Carolina Panthers in real substantial snaps.
CK, I wish I could agree with you. I can't. And the reason why I can't is because it's looking very likely that the Carolina Panthers are going to have at least a top 10 pick, probably even a top 5 pick, right? And there's a lot of really talented quarterbacks available in this draft. After the Panthers have kicked this can down the road for so long on drafting a new quarterback, I don't think that a brand new head coach, be that Steve Wilkes or whoever else, is going to give Matt Corral a chance. I think they're going to draft their guy, and they're probably going to start to give.
Oh, he dropped it.
The rare drop by Cooper. But I do think that they're probably going to give their new starter, whoever they draft,
100%.
They're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. In that case, CK, I hope that we're able to flip Matt Corral for a 3rd round pick and just pretend that it never happened, pretend that we never drafted him, which I think is unfortunate because, and I know we're missing a lot of action here, but I do think that Matt Corral does have the necessary tools to be a really good NFL quarterback. I just don't know that chance is going to happen for him in Carolina.
I think that my point being is, do I think that he's going to have a shot at winning a quarterback competition? Probably not, especially if we're drafting one of these guys that really have been popping off in college this year. However, I think that because he will be the backup, I don't think there's going to be a trade for Matt Corral. I think Matt Corral will be the backup.
Okay.
I think that could mean that you will see Matt Corral on the field as a Carolina Panther. I didn't see I think that the league is going to look at the film that he put out and preseason this year, and we're not going to get a third round for him. We might be able to get a fourth or a fifth, right? But there's not a person that's going to trade a third round after we just drafted him for a third round. And to see that he didn't necessarily take a step forward, showing he was an NFL quarterback just yet. And Allen Robinson gets the touchdown. Wow. A 2-possession game now as the Rams go up 13-0.
CK, you called it. Allen Robinson. This might be his opportunity to break out in a way that he hasn't done this year. And I've said this on Twitter a lot. Panthers are the get right team, meaning whatever ails you, whatever problems you've been having with your own team, you get right against the Carolina Panthers. That's exactly what Robinson is doing right now.
Yeah, Robinson is the booth review. They might come back and reverse this, which will be big time for us.
But that the saying no?
It looked like his left foot was down, and even when he stepped there as well, it looked like his foot might have been within the paint. We're gonna see what they say here.
That's 2 foot down. I think he had both feet in the end zone.
Madden will be the one to overturn this, though.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like they got it right. Allen Robinson coming in here to have a day against a bruised and battered Carolina Panthers secondary.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't go for 2. Why not?
Why not? Let's just go ahead and put your offense in there. Continue to just wear down this defense so that you can have a day. You got to imagine. I'm really confused why after the game that Eckler had last week. Or wait, Eckler's Chargers. Never mind.
Chargers, yeah.
I'm thinking Los Angeles. Yeah. I was getting ready to say, I wonder why they don't have Eckler in, but now my brain was able to reassess what was going on, and yeah, we're back to normal.
Yep.
All right. And the Panthers taking the kickoff over the 20, past the 25, up to the 20. They didn't get past the 25, get to the 25. As Shi Smith has brought that out a few times, hasn't found a way to get any movement after, past the 25-yard line.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of luck this year on punt return, seemingly at all. This has been a problem for us. This offense has to do something, CK. This is getting embarrassing. I mean, how much did you want? It's going to be another run with CMC right up the middle for no yards. Like, if PJ's bad underneath, throw the ball over top. Be aggressive.
And Christian pushing for a little bit more. He's able to get up to the 35, bringing up a 2nd and 1. He's getting the yards on the first down, which is what we like to see. They just aren't able to get the push on 2nd and 3rd down, and that resulted in the punt from the last drive. And it's another Christian McCaffrey run. Almost makes it. Looks like it's probably going to be, and they gave him the first down and did what they needed to do. Brings up a new set of downs. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. 5 minutes left to go in the half. And the Panthers will not be getting the ball at the beginning of the second half. So the Rams will have an opportunity here, most likely, to score before the end of this one and score at the beginning of the next half as well. Unless they can run and Christian McCaffrey just afraid to hit the hole, if you will. And taken down after a 5-yard gain. Should have been a little bit farther up the field there, but Madden just makes him dance around like a guy trying to learn a new TikTok dance.
Like a puppet on a marionette,
PJ Walker, nobody in the backfield with him here. 2nd and 5. Takes the snap, throws it to nobody again, brings up 3rd and 5. Could be a quick 3 and out, or I guess lack of a 3rd down conversion here potentially if they're unable to convert here.
I do like calling a deep shot or calling a pass play on 2nd and short. Those are, to me, your offense needs to always be getting to 2nd and short. That way you can do whatever you want. You can run the ball, you can pass the football, You can be versatile. Oh,
PJ gets it with his legs, brings up 1st and 10 across the 45-yard line to the 46. That clock is coming down fast. It's down to the 4-minute mark, and they are not quite at midfield, but they are trying to get there.
what's it down? 1st and 19 or 1st and 10?
1st and 10. Yep, out of shotgun. Ian Thomas gets the snap, gets another 7-yard gain. Ian Thomas has been hit or miss so far this year. Madden has been very nice to Ian Thomas with his stats, if I'm recalling correctly, the past few weeks. But Ian Thomas in real action has been largely disappointing.
He has, but I feel like that doesn't stop Baker Mayfield from targeting him. Like Baker loves him to be. Oh, see, it's those types of plays, man. Those are the plays that will burn you. But PJ Walker throwing right to the defender.
Right,
I don't know.
almost into double coverage. It looks like he was trying to target Ian Thomas again there.
Yeah, we probably have one of the worst tight end rooms in the NFL right now.
I'm disappointed that we haven't given Tommy Trimble an opportunity.
Yeah,
And deep shot, and he gets Robbie Anderson down to the 4-yard line.
Let's go.
That's what you like to see from a PJ Walker-led offense. Get the ball down the field. He has a big arm. He's got a 50-50 shot of throwing an interception when you get down to the red zone. So we're going to maybe temper our expectations here before we get the touchdown. But Robbie Anderson coming up big amidst trade talks this week after reports the Carolina Panthers are looking to get him out. Oh, that was DJ Moore. I'm sorry. I thought that was Robbie Anderson.
Let's go, DJ. By the way, on my PrizePicks, use promo code C3. I've got DJ Moore having a big game. I've got him at more than 4.5 receptions. More of that, please. More of that.
And Christian McCaffrey gets it across the goal line.
Right in. Fantastic. That we needed that so bad, CK.
Yeah, big time play there. Leaves a little bit more time on the clock than I'm comfortable with an offense led by Matt Stafford that also has Cooper Kupp there in the offense. Allen Robinson showing that he could be explosive as well. A lot of time left in this game could leave the Panthers reeling going into halftime if they're able to make anything happen. But right now they're celebrating, bringing this down to a 1-possession game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Christian McCaffrey is such a strong runner. He's always fighting for extra yards. That's why, CK, to kind of bring it back to real life here, I would be very disappointed if we don't get a first-round pick for Christian McCaffrey, especially if he does end up going to one of these contending football teams, a team that really has a chance. Then, get a first-round pick.
Oh, the game didn't crash here.
Yeah, did your screen
go
black? Oh, okay. I was about to say, whoa.
There it is. Yeah, it was odd. It was blacked out there for a minute. But, so that's an interesting discussion to have. And we talked about it on Tuesday's show. I think that if you're trading with Buffalo, that is the only scenario where I think that we're going to get a first-round draft pick for Christian McCaffrey. Not a single person in the NFL is going to trade for Christian McCaffrey for a sub 500 team that's probably going to be picking in the top, 15 of the draft next year, right? We're not getting that type of draft capital for him. But if you're expecting to draft on number 30 in the first round, that's basically a second-round pick, that seems more reasonable, especially if the only piece you need is a running back. The hard truth is, ladies and gentlemen, the hard truth about Christian McCaffrey being traded is his contract is back heavy as far as loaded on the back end of his contract. We haven't had the biggest hit from him yet on our contract, on our cap hit. It's the final 3 years that are the biggest problem. He jumps from a $7 million cap hit to like $13 to $14 million cap hit over the next 3 years. And that's going to be hard to offload with no ramifications to our own numbers. Cooper Kupp gets the first down, second and inches rather, as they still stays in bounds, keeping that clock ticking there. But the idea of getting Christian McCaffrey out of here for a first round is going to be, unless we decide to eat a lot of that contract, is going to be all for naught.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. How much do you care if you're, a Green Bay Packers? You know what I mean? If you're a Buffalo Bills and you have so many talented
The
players and pieces
Packers,
around them.
no shot the Packers go after Christian McCaffrey. They have AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones at the helm.
Yeah, but
Aaron
Christian
Jones,
McCaffrey is so much more of a receiver, though.
Aaron Jones is a great receiver for them.
Yeah.
But Buffalo, for sure, Devin Singletary has been. He'll have a good game, but then he'll have 5 just mediocre games. You match Josh Allen with a running back like Christian McCaffrey, you're asking for them to be unstoppable. It's almost unfair. The league may step in and say, we just can't allow that to happen. But you never know. I'd be interested to see what the terms would be. But I do agree with a couple of the other content creators of Carolina Panthers, lore, if you will. And that is, set your price high. If somebody wants to pay it, fine, let them. If they don't, you get to maintain holding on to one of the greatest offensive weapons in the history of the NFL.
There's no reason to not hold out for as much as possible. There's no reason. And by the way, you also have to understand that they have to be able to compensate us for getting rid of this player. If we're going to have a brand new head coach, and you have to have players that's going to attract that coach to want to come here. And Christian McCaffrey is absolutely one of those people. So if you're not going to have Christian McCaffrey, it helps to have 2 first-round picks in 2023, especially when right now the Carolina Panthers only have 4. That's why I 100% believe the rumors that you're hearing. Not only does it verify our rumors that we put out, but now all the big-time official heavyweight news reporters are putting it out to where there's smoke, there's fire. The Panthers are trying to acquire draft picks.
What I'm more heartened by is that they are trying to keep the core of the team. They're not trying to get rid of these guys like DJ Moore, Brian Burns, or Derek Brown. I think that gives me a little more hope that they see this team being competitive in less than 5 years, right? I think they really believe that we can do something. We're just, honestly, if you look at our roster, we have an offensive line that is so much more improved than anything we've seen over the past 7 years that we can, have a quarterback. We could be a quarterback away from this offense humming. And so that's really the difference maker, that and a potential offensive coordinator. And they've already driven down to the 7-yard line. They're first and goal with still 48 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford in these big moments does a good job at putting the ball right where it's supposed to be, right where his receivers can make a play on the football. And he did that just there. He's got timing and rhythm with his receivers. So it's not surprising that they're starting to move the ball now, that they're in rhythm.
Certainly feeling that way. And they're just, mossed him.
Wow.
Higby
Tyler
on top of Woods, it looks like.
Yeah, man, we're struggling in this defensive backfield. We're really missing a J.C. Horn
and Jeremy Chen.
Yeah, and Jeremy Chen in this scenario. But by the way, I mean, J.C. Horn has been one of the better corners in the NFL this year. Another player like Akem Ekwonu living up to that first-round draft pick. I don't even know if Madden would give him the respect that he deserves, even if he was in this game. So maybe it's for the better.
Yeah, J.C. Horn has been a big part of our success on defense so far this year. And when you look at Icky, I don't know what it is, Cody, but you just get the feeling that he is going to be great and potentially one of the best left tackles that we've seen in the history of the Carolina Panthers. And I only say that just based off of the way that he has gotten better week over week. Every time he's faced a challenge, he's overcome that challenge every week. Last week, going up against a very good defensive line, Nick Bosa. How many times did you hear his name yesterday or last week? Not much. Now, he got hurt there towards the end of the game, but, when you have your tackles holding up that well, that's always a positive. As Shi Smith able to get it across the 25 this time, by the way, almost to the 30, down to the 29-yard line. They have 25 seconds left to do something, but they do have all 3 of their timeouts here, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, we have to see P.J. Walker put together a drive. That was a beautiful pass to DJ Moore. We need to see more of that, plain and simple. Especially when you have the Rams and they're able to put up points on offense. You have to take some shots. You have to be aggressive. You can't just afford to run Christian McCaffrey up the middle on 1st and 2nd down. And you see that empty backfield on 1st and 10. Let's see who they decide to go to.
And it's going to be a short pass to Christian McCaffrey, who's going to make the first guy miss. Almost makes the he does break that tackle. Wow. Gets a first down. They're going to do a timeout. They give that a 2nd and inches, but that looked like he was pushed across the line. That was odd that they put him down there where they did. But 2nd and inches here. 18 seconds left to go in the half after we just burnt our first time out of the half.
Yeah, they definitely screwed us on the first down. If anything, it should have been reversed. I thought they stopped us earlier and they gave us the first down. This one, we definitely got the first down, and now they're not giving it to us.
Wow. Somehow that should have been should have just let it drop there. Christian McCaffrey brings up a 3rd and 4 now. Loss of 3 or 4 yards after a circus catch by Christian McCaffrey as Walker's getting hit while he throws.
Yeah, good job by PJ to get the ball out of his hands, and good heads-up play by Christian McCaffrey there. Just knowing when your quarterback is facing pressure and knowing that the ball is coming to you in an emergency.
Deep ball out here. Looks like it's caught by DJ Moore again.
Let's go.
Time play by PJ Walker, getting it down to the 14-yard line. You got to imagine they're just going to take the field goal here. Maybe they're going to go for it.
Oh, they better go for it, man. Their season's on the line. Everyone says they suck. They need to put points on the board. It has to happen.
They're going for it here. 7 yards. They better not run it. I'm hoping that they have some logic here, and they're going to run it. Christian McCaffrey is going to not make it out of bounds, and it's going to bring the end of the half. Big, stupid decision by Madden there.
Stupid Madden. So yeah, that's a terrible decision. That's that's an AI move right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Salt would do that.
Well, it could be that Matt Rule is actually calling the plays for Madden now because
that's right. I forgot that rascally bastard is still here.
Wow. So it's not looking great for this Carolina Panthers defense as they've allowed 21 points in the first half. Luckily, Matt Rule not being here would tell us that, maybe we have a shot now that it's been, no longer under the rule, if you will, because they, we know what the talked about stat is for him. And that dude's putting a helmet on over top of his helmet. And
hey, CK, since we're about to we're about to start the third quarter. Before we do that, why don't you shame these people real quick, my man?
Oh, you know what? I'll do that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, or maybe you're not somebody who identifies as either. I'd like to welcome you into the Madden simulation as the Rams take the opening kickoff of the second half up by 2 scores. We're simulating the Carolina Panthers game this week as they travel to the Los Angeles Rams. But we had 100 of you legends in here, and I want to know, every one of you that have not hit that thumbs up button, I have one thing to say to you. Subscriber shame. You didn't miss anything.
Not subscriber shame, people. 81 people watching, 36 thumbs up. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Listen, all we do is upload content now. If you've been following the C3 channel, we are pumping out Panthers content, even when the team is terrible, baby. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe, whoop up on that notification bell so you get notified every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live.
Matt Stafford wheeling and dealing today. 22 of 25 so far. I've missed opportunity with a couple of interceptions that should have been easy picks, and he finds Allen Robinson completely open across the middle, gets it across midfield down to the 42-yard line of the Carolina Panthers, and we are not able to stop these guys.
Yikes.
What's interesting is DJ Moore has had 3 receptions for over 100 yards in this game.
You know, but those big chunk plays that you see PJ and DJ Moore pull off, and that doesn't surprise me at all. If you do see some of that tomorrow, CK, like I said earlier, PJ Walker is not averse to pushing the ball downfield.
Allen Robinson with the end around here, able to get another 7 yards on that, bringing a much more manageable 2nd and 3, as they are just making this defense work for their money today. King hoping for the interception here, and we'll see. It looks like it's probably going to be a run if I had to guess, but yeah, nope, they're going to do a play action. As why not? Allen Robinson's not covered at all.
Nowhere near him. Nowhere near him. Anyone. What a busted coverage.
Unfortunate. This defense wanted to come out here looking like dogs right now, looking like puppies.
Yeah, man. Especially when you're playing the defending Super Bowl champions, you have to come correct. And that is not the correct way to come, you know?
Well,
that's what she said.
That is what she said. Come hard and fast. That's what they say.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Run right up the middle. Cam Akers able to get a little bit of movement, but not much. He brings up a big 2nd and 7. And they are at the 15 of the Carolina Panthers, really risking an opportunity to bring this to a 3-possession game. And I'm not sure this offense is built for a comeback like this.
Ken D says, cry havoc and let loose the poodles of war. Ferocious.
Cam Akers again, like not a lot of room, but making something out of it. 3rd and 1. And down to the 9.
You know, seeing the defense just give up these, death by a million cuts type of plays, it's disheartening, man.
And he gets the first down.
On a 3rd and 1, man, you need your players like that guy right there, Burns, to step up, who they also have looking like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Matt Rule over here in spirit.
Yeah, Rat Mule. That's his doppelganger. Which, by the way, I prefer Rat Mule over Matt Rule any day. You know, I think
at this point in time, you gotta wonder. I think they were more kind to him last year than they are this year.
Yeah. It looks more like him this year, but it's playing much more like the actual
Matt Rule. Yeah, they went accurate with him all the way around here. And Cooper Kupp wide open there in the end zone, and he just throws it away. Could have been an easy touchdown. Cooper Kupp was completely uncovered there. When they updated Madden, I have no idea. I logged in today, and it looked a little different to me, Tin. So if you haven't been on lately, you might log in. I think they've got some sort of Halloween event stuff going on. They haven't updated the play now to update to the current game of the week, but Cam Akers, he's almost gets there, and he does. He gets across the line and rolls across the goal line on top of Shaq Thompson's body.
Oh, man, I can't say any of this is surprising. This looks a lot like what of us expect. Man, that last final move, he gets the touchdown. By the way, Cam Akers, since we're on the subject, Cam Akers is another player that I've heard come up wanting to be traded and move somewhere else. I saw that come across my Twitter today. I don't know how much truth there is to it, but that'll be interesting to watch.
The only thing that's tough about that is Rams have given away so much of their assets to get some of these players that they have on their team. I don't know that they have anything worth asking for. You could try to trade for Cam Akers and maybe like a future first round draft pick from the Rams, but that depends upon how inflated their opinion is of their team and their future, right? If they believe that they're going to always be good and they're going to be drafting late, then that first round draft pick, in their opinion, isn't as valuable as say maybe a team that doesn't look to be successful over the next year or two. So there is a potential that you find that, but I think you're more likely going to find that it's going to be hard to have them take on, especially with the contracts they're paying out already. I don't know that they'd be able to afford his contract.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, you're probably not going to give up a lot for Cam Akers if you did trade for him. You know, so if you're the Rams, you might get a 6th or a 7th round pick for an unproven running back. I mean, then again, you also get running backs that go undrafted every year that end up producing. I mean, look no further than the 49ers. They do this all the time. So you're probably isn't much of a it might be an easy way to at least get something, but I don't know. It's definitely not CMC's level.
And Robbie Anderson showing up here in that pass play, able to get it across the 40-yard line to the 44 as they're approaching midfield. Robbie Anderson showing up on that one. PJ Walker has been oddly sharp outside of a few errant throws and that one interception, but he's got the arm to push that ball down the field. If they just continue to take those shots, I think we'll be good today.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, shout out to Tiger in the YouTube chat. I've never seen him before. He says, "Holy shit, we scored! That wouldn't happen under rule." Tiger, you're 100% right. That would not have happened. But hey, welcome to the C3 Panthers podcast, man. Hit like and subscribe. Come hang out with us more often.
Off balance throw, almost throws a pick again, but brings up a fortunate 2nd and 10 as they are lucky to get away with that one.
Yeah, I mean, this is rough. 7-28. Continue to air it out. That's what I say, CK. You cannot afford to be running the football. Just pass it.
And that's what you're looking for. Christian McCaffrey getting another 8 yards there. 4 receptions for 22 yards to answer your question there, Ken. Third and 2. Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. Looks like it's going to be a run to the right. He's able to get it across and get a little more out of it as well. Gets to the 44-yard line of the Rams. Keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have Christian McCaffrey for, to get those big-time first downs when you have to have them. Big play by CMC with the little juke maneuver, kind of brushed him off.
Ramsey has been more of a liability than he's been in his entire career so far this year as well. So that'll be an interesting conversation to have about what he's going to be capable of doing. We know that he's a good cornerback, a great cornerback, if nothing else, and he's been less Ramsey like this year, and it happens to every cornerback. It's not something that you can maintain that level of play for 15 years. Revis is almost an exception, and he even had to go downhill after maybe 10 years of high quality play. DJ Moore, first down, big game for him. That's going to be probably his 4th reception for 114 yards.
By the way, it's a panel. Those 49er podcasters are smoking meth. if they think that we're only getting a 3rd or a 4th, we ain't even talking to you, son.
We already are accounting for his hit on his cap, right? So unless you're getting the hit, like, it just doesn't make sense to get rid of him unless you're getting something worth it. And that might be a face mask since that came in right during the contact took place. Nope, holding offense as Christian McCaffrey finally got some movement. Ian Thomas, the culprit on that one.
Always looking like Christian McCaffrey fighting for extra yards, though.
For nothing. Like, isn't that happen? Like, how often does that happen for him where he gets a really big play and it gets called back because of a holding or something along those lines? And almost tripped up by Christian McCaffrey. PJ Walker gets a 2-yard gain. He should have just threw it and hoped to God he could get the catch.
And hey, right quick to Kenneth Harris in our chat. Dude, we don't mind if you come hang out and talk and chill. If you want to talk about the Panthers and the Eagles, that's fine, dude. But if you start spamming the chat, I will block you, man. Don't spam.
And DJ, he steps out right at the last. He's not able to get the cut. Pushed it up the field, brings up a 3rd and 5. Better than the one, better than like a 2nd and 18 or 3rd and 18, I'll tell you. But still would have wished he would have stayed in bounds there and got a little more yards out of that. But DJ Moore is still another big game here today.
Yeah, I mean, we really need to see if PJ can consistently push the ball. Like right there, you have to have that. That's a 3rd down play. You absolutely have to have that.
And it was wide open.
Bobby Wagner made the play. Wide open. You have to have that.
Wide open, overthrown, and they're going to go for the field goal. Down 4, by 3 possessions here. They're going for the field goal with only 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. You got to be a little more cognizant of the situation and not just kick the field goal there. You think that would be a pretty common sense request.
Yeah. By the way, just in case anyone's wondering, my Tigers are looking beautiful, baby. Let's go. I highly recommend getting a college team that can make up for some of the depression that the Carolina Panthers make you feel. So my Clemson Tigers are good for that, dude.
I don't know that I would say that that we're going to see Christian McCaffrey rush for that much with Aaron Donald on that team, but you never know with him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so sure of that either. Our offense is not looking great. Now they're back on offense. It's just a tough one, man.
Did you guys see that? Yes, I saw that, and that ending was incredible. Was that kicker for Tennessee not their kicker?
What do you mean?
When I was watching, I guess Pat McAfee's Twitter timeline, like he had a video up that said their kicker had gone out earlier in the game, and I made me think that the guy who kicked that field goal wasn't their normal field goal kicker. Oh, almost intercepted. CJ Henderson trying to come up big and make up for some of the big mistakes he's had over the past few weeks.
I want to see Brian Burns in situations like this. I want to see him show up and, continue to do some good things.
I've never understood why Madden thinks so lowly of Brian Burns. Like, they've got a superstar little thing on him, but they don't let him beat the offensive lineman. It's flabbergasting. I don't understand this. No, he wasn't the field goal kicker. So that guy who came in and kicked that 45-yard field goal wasn't the field goal kicker? That's even more impressive if that's the case.
That is pretty damn cool.
Oh, he goes out of bounds short of the first down marker. You got to imagine up by 3 possessions. They're just going to punt it here. Panthers might have a shot if they can drive down here and get a touchdown.
Do you really believe that?
No. This is the first punt that they forced against the Rams today.
Yeah.
And Shi Smith found a way to get it across almost to the 20-yard line down to the 19. And PJ Walker is going to have an opportunity to come in here and win his first game as a Carolina Panthers starter again this year. He is undefeated as our starter over the past 2 years. He started one game each of the previous 2 years, and he's won both of them.
Yeah, I mean, what down are we at here? 1st and 10?
PJ Walker almost intercepted.
Wow,
Again, forcing it over to Ian
throw.
Thomas.
Dangerous throw.
What I find to be interesting is I think Madden is they'll update the ratings for people, but I think that they don't update the ratings. I think they're almost afraid to lower the ratings of the Rams. PJ Walker running for it, running. Why? Go forward. Stop running to the sideline. Oh my God, this dude.
Big time run by PJ. And, that's something that Jonathan Stewart and a few other players kind of alluded to. PJ can do it all. He can move. He can throw the ball. He can do all those things. It's all about him putting it together and having a clean performance and not throwing it where there's a whole defensive backs meeting going on at the side of the field.
Go straight down, straight. Oh my God, this dude. Oh, I thought he might have fumbled it there at the end there, but luckily he's able to hold on to it. First down, Carolina Panthers, 49 seconds left in the third quarter, down by 28 points, or 18 points rather. Aaron Donald not able to bring him down with first contact. Got to start being a little bit more cognizant of the clock, getting into that hurry up offense, and allowing your team a shot as he throws it again. And odd decision making there by PJ Walker and Madden so far. Again, they don't have him very highly rated in the ratings department here, but still, you'd think that they'd be a little bit more willing to give him cut him some slack here.
Wow.
3rd and 2.
See, didn't he make some plays like that? That is like, wait, did he make that?
He did.
Yeah. I don't know. Madden kind of has PJ Walker right. He's sometimes he'll make some incredible throws, and then other times it's like, dude, where were you even throwing that football?
Good decision here to give it to Christian McCaffrey, who fumbles it at the midfield.
Did we recover? No,
the Rams recover. It's now a turnover. And the Rams have the ball at the 50-yard line after a rare Christian McCaffrey fumble. And Madden is a sack of shit.
That's embarrassing, man.
Big time. Again, really is that it's almost like Madden is just trying to give us a little bit and then just takes it away.
Yeah. Now you definitely traded Christian McCaffrey after that. Get that first round pick and get out of our building.
That's 2 turnovers on the day, and both of them could result in touchdowns if they're able to move the ball here. Cooper Kupp unable to come down with that. Xavier Woods in coverage, able to bat the ball away. And that brings the end of the third quarter. Going into the fourth quarter, the Panthers are now losing 28-10 to the Rams, as the Rams are hoping to come back from a 2-game skid. And those have been ugly losses that they've had 2 weeks in a row now. They're hoping that this can be their get-right game, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast.
Yeah, and it appears that's 100% what it has been. It's a get-right game. This defense, they need to step up in a bigger way than this.
Big stop there by Burris, I believe, brings up a 3rd and 3. And I think he got him out of bounds, stopping the clock at least temporarily until they were able to spot the ball.
All right. Big time right here.
Not anybody in the area. First down, Rams. Corey Littleton comes up with the stop there, but not before he's able to get the first down across the 35-yard line to the 32. And
why are we playing a prevent defense in the 4th quarter? Like, why are you so backed up on everything short?
This feels like a Matt Rule coach team. Oddly enough, I believe it is.
Remember, Rat Mule. Rat Mule. Can you believe that people got mad at us last year for calling him Rat Mule? Like, now in hindsight, it's even funnier.
Rat Mule. I love that I thought of that in that first Madden simulation that I did. And I was like, this is Rat Mule. And it took off from there.
Yeah. It was pretty special.
It was special, short-lived, as Rat Mule no longer should hopefully no longer be a storyline for the Panthers moving forward. And that's the 3rd and inches. Allen Robinson not able to get the ball across the line to gain. Big time stop here needed by this defense if they're going to have a shot at a comeback, which they don't. Stop hoping they don't have a shot.
Boy.
Pass. Wow, they decided to pass on 3rd and inches, and they able to successfully do it. Matt Ryan.
Because why not, right?
Matthew Stafford, rather, having a big game. He hasn't had too many missed or too many incompletions so far.
Yeah, I mean, why not pass the ball on 3rd and short when it's just so easy for people to do, you know? Man. There should be a mercy rule.
Ooh, Brian Burns showing up there. Loss of 1. Cam Akers not being a big time. I guess he's not been that much of an impact so far in this offense. It's all been through the air. They can't get anything done on the ground here. Brian Burns tackle for a loss in a moment that you needed some momentum coming your way.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an uphill battle. You know, there's no way we're gonna win this game, but we're just hoping for a strong performance.
And 3rd and 4 now. The interesting conversation that we're going to have is if the core of this team remains in place and they're able to turn it around with an actual quarterback, you're going to have the conversation, or let's say even Matt Corral comes out and he is a franchise quarterback. Like, he is the guy. There's always going to be that question in the back of people's minds that maybe we're giving Matt Rule a little more credit than he deserved, that are going to say that it was built off of the back of Matt Rule building a roster that was Super Bowl caliber, right? Because if you maintain that these guys that he drafted are capable of great things and Matt Corral comes out and he does it, right? Then you're almost wondering, did the decision to move away from him, was it a positive? Or was it just whoever comes in just got the benefit of a better roster? That was the question about John Gruden going to Tampa. That team wasn't built by Gruden; it was built by Tony Dungy, and so that's always going to be a conversation piece. And Matt Stafford gets a
what? That was the dumbest thing I have ever fucking seen in my life. You're gonna that freaking Matthew Stafford has the athleticism to juke Brian Burns out of his shoes? Give me a break, Madden. Ah, ice up. Ice up Madden simulation. What are we doing?
I'll tell you what, I'm ready for that. Whatever that other game was that they said that they were working on with 2K, I'm ready for that to come out already, because I tell you what, even if it's a blitz type of thing, I would rather see that in a simulation than this.
God, there should be a mercy rule. Like, okay, Madden clearly just absolutely has it out for us. God, how dumb, man. That actually upset me, CK.
That was that should have been a sack with very little question about it. Why he's a superstar, right? the
Dude,
king of almost, if you're asking, Greg.
Yeah. To a lot more people than you, you know. I've said that a lot about Brian Burns. If this man turned his near misses into sacks, he could have 15 plus sacks last year.
I also find it odd that every single kick is at the 5-yard line as opposed to deep in the end zone. I don't understand Madden's logic there either.
I don't even know if Madden uses logic.
I don't know that we're going to be able to do the ground and pound tomorrow. We don't have our starting cornerback, our best cornerback on the team. We don't have our best safety on the team in Jeremy Chen. We're going to have we're potentially not going to have either CJ Henderson or Dante Jackson either, because they're both listed as questionable. Odds are they're going to play, but they're going to be hurt. And we're going up against an explosive air raid offense, Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. And so I think the ground and pound seems like an idea that would, in theory, work when you're not going up against the offense that's as powerful as the Rams can be. Now, the question is, are they going to be able to get pressure on Matt Stafford? Because if you can, then the ground and pound could be an effective option, but we haven't been able to do that with just 4-man rush. But we also know Steve Wilks is a blitz-happy coach. Shi Smith showing up for the first time today.
He's definitely a blitz-happy coach. You know, especially if we see a player like Brandon Smith tomorrow with all that athleticism. Yeah, I definitely would like to see more blitzing just to try and get some more pressure. Maybe you get Brian Burns free a little bit more.
Makes you wonder who he would replace. Would it be Corey Littleton?
Possibly.
Luvu, he's still questionable as well, but if he's playing, you can't, and that's Aaron Donald, big time sack, 2nd and 16. You can't bench Luvu with the way he's been playing this year. He's been one of the superstars on this defense. Whether or not that's all attributed to him or not, he's been there, and that's what you've got to speak to. So you can't put him out in favor of Brandon. But I tell you what, Damian Wilson or Corey Littleton, I'm sure I'm fine with that. I don't know that they have been assets to this defense.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, you know, we have to get our superstars in one-on-one matchups. Wow, what was that batted or was that just a miss?
Don't know.
Kind of looked like a batted pass.
Got to go for it here if you don't make the first down.
Forever to throw the football.
Christian,
make
it.
He juked himself out of bounds. You hate to see it. Hey, let me tell you though, those first 2 jukes, that was beautiful.
That's exactly what Christian is. But what I hate is, again, Madden. They have this field sense, right? I haven't seen it. I haven't felt it at all.
Not at all. I feel like they're always in open holes all the time. Hattie and Thomas underneath. But no, I just thought, whoa, wow, all right.
He was just trotting along, too. Like, I'm not sure if he's tired or what, but he was just like, come get the ball, guys.
If that was Baker Mayfield, he for sure
wouldn't have made it.
Runs into the sack.
but he's able to get it across midfield down to the 38-yard line of the Rams with only 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Right now, they're just playing for pride.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's this game is about over.
Second one, Shi Smith again with the second reception of the day.
Quarterback going for a walk in the park.
And Robbie almost gets away from the guy. He's able to get it down to the 11-yard line. You got to get this hurry-up offense going if they hope to try to get over 20 points in this game.
Yeah.
Down by 25, not much hope that you're going to win this game, but you got to hope to show the world what Robbie Anderson and Christian McCaffrey have so that maybe you can get a little more from them if there are people calling, trying to give away some assets to acquire them.
And Tony, not Tony, CK, let's be real. I think if this is the scenario tomorrow, man, I think we're selling, getting rid of players. And I think the entire fan base is probably going to start moving on to the draft and start thinking about losing games and what kind of draft pick we'll have. Hopefully the number one pick, if that's the case. I mean, if we're able to get another first round pick and we're able to pick very, very high, like one, that might be just what the Panthers need to really finish rebuilding this football team.
And it's going to be bringing up the 2-minute warning after a Chuba Hubbard first down. Big Jim Truth out here telling us about this major conspiracy going on in the NFL.
Magnets in the balls and in the receiver's gloves. Hey, how about that? A late Panther touchdown by DJ Moore.
And he's dancing and maybe have a little bit more awareness of the circumstances there. DJ Moore in real life would not be doing that.
Yeah, for sure not. But I guess sometimes you got to dance. How many more opportunities this year you're going to have an opportunity to dance in the end zone? So shout out to DJ, man. Looking fresh to death.
And after a touchdown pass to DJ Moore, they tack on another point with the extra point and brings up 17-35, down by a whole lot of points. And they're probably going to go for the onside kick. I've yet to see that work in Madden, but we're going to see.
Yeah. Chat, are they going to make the onside kick? Yes or no? Before it happens in the chat, come on. Are we going to make it? Any chance the Panthers make an onside kick? Do you think they even do go onsides? I mean, it's you're gonna have to do a lot of point scoring here relatively soon. Yeah, I guess so. They're lined up close. Right to them. Ain't that beautiful?
Right to them. Yeah, Madden is I rarely see it work in the favor of the kicking team that an offside kick works, but you gotta keep the optics up, if you will. 9 receptions for 115 yards for Allen Robinson and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's rough, man. I mean, and this team, this Los Angeles Ram team, they're not even as good as they were last year. Their offensive line has been kind of underwhelming to this point, especially after Andrew Whitworth retired.
Yep.
They've been kind of hurting on the O-line, and Didn't make much of a difference today.
And Luvu stops him after a 4-yard gain, rolls him into a little bit more yardage there. 2nd and 6, minute and 46 seconds. They got to take the timeout here. Not sure why the Panthers haven't. Maybe they're just waving their white flag, but
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Oh, I thought for sure they were going to get that first down.
And they're still not taking the timeout, oddly enough. They're going to be able to run this clock down to the 30, down to 30 seconds left with one more play left to run. And all 3 of the timeouts for the Panthers, an odd decision here to not use those timeouts.
Who are they fooling?
Maybe they were hoping for that moment right there. But nope, they're going to let this go down to 0. The Panthers are going to take the loss here. Why even delay the inevitable? Let it go. Let it win. Let the Rams get on track and let the Panthers continue to build up on a year where they're going to be going for the number 1 draft pick, it seems. And that's the end of the game. Matt Stafford had an incredible game today, eating this secondary alive with literally no coverage that was seemingly anywhere in the realm of NFL caliber. Carl D is speaking some truth. I think many of us can get behind. PJ Walker in his games where he started as a Carolina Panther, he mainly faced less. He faced a Kyler Murray-less Arizona team, and he faced a Detroit Lions team. Is that right? Am I wrong in that? Wasn't the Detroit that he had faced?
Yeah, we beat Detroit in 2020 and shut him out.
Yep. So, and even in that one, there were a lot of issues that PJ Walker had. That was mainly a defensive outing. PJ Walker had 2 red zone interceptions. But I mean, those are mistakes, and some of it what could have been communication errors. I remember that being a conversation piece in that moment. But this is going to be his toughest test. He's going to be going against really good secondary play from Jalen Ramsey, potentially, if he's able to, again, get back on track. He's going to be going against the Matt Stafford. And you're trying to go head-to-head with an offense and match up with their production. And I don't know that he's going to be capable of doing that. He certainly has the arm. He has the electricity and the explosiveness, which I think we all are aching for. But he also has a lot of decisions that you wish that he wouldn't have made that come back. And so I think we're going to see what an entire week of preparation is going to do for him. And Baker Mayfield could very well be sitting at the helm as the backup in the event that things start to get out of hand. Baker Mayfield may come in there as well as a Cowboy trying to save the day. Unfortunately, they may put him in if we start to win, thinking that maybe we need to get the loss and hope for the loss by putting Baker Mayfield in.
Yeah, but Baker Mayfield's going to want a battle to come back. Dude, I wouldn't even mind seeing Jacob Eason. He's hasn't accomplished much in his short career as he's kind of jumped around from NFL teams, but I don't know. I don't know what kind of thing is going to spark this team right now. I really don't know what's going to do it. Again, Steve Wilkes is facing a very uphill battle. It's just the fact of the matter, man. Especially if the Panthers start to trade off players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think this is the most important game of the Panthers season thus far. If you don't look good here, oh, dude, we're looking to 2023, and there's no reason for us not to. And I don't want to hear all the people, oh, we shouldn't tank. Listen, players and coaches never tank. They're never going to actively tank. But you do it from a front office perspective, which is what I think the Panthers are already doing. They're looking to offload assets. They're looking to get younger. and they're looking to continue to get cheaper, get dollars off of their salary cap book, and really try and build your team for the future and have more draft picks and more salary cap dollars. So don't be disappointed if it happens. Change is rough, but change is also inevitable. So just accept it as it comes.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You got to accept it as it comes. But I think the positive for the Panthers, if you want to take positives from this, is because you have such poor quarterback play and there's not much light on the horizon, you could probably make zero effort to tank and still end up with the number 1 draft pick because your quarterback's not able to do what needs to be done to get the win. When you have bad quarterbacks, it's hard to win no matter what. It's easy. It's hard to win as it is, but take the quarterback and put a below average quarterback into play. It is very difficult to win. And so we're going to see a lot of what to expect, I guess, tomorrow from things. I mean, Steve Wilks is going to, we're going to see some changes. And I think one of the things I'm most interested to see tomorrow, Cody, is how the offense changes. It felt to me like this offense was handcuffed with Matt Rule at the helm. It felt like we were forced into being conservative in certain areas. And so I would be interested to see if Ben McAdoo has his playbook open up after the removal of Matt Rule as coach. I think he's also realizing that his tenure in the NFL is at risk. If he doesn't succeed in this offense, then I think that he's going to have a hard time getting another coordinator position, another head coaching job for that matter. So he might be relegated to quarterback coach or wide receivers coach for another team at some point, but he needs to show up. And I think you're going to start to see some that playbook open up a little bit.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a very deliberate difference in game plan tomorrow, or at least there should be. There's no reason why we shouldn't, be changing things up. So
Yeah,
I don't know, man. CK, that other edition of the C3 Madden simulation. These are almost as depressing as the real games, CK.
dude, and it's been on top of it from day one, from the first week against the Browns. We thought that Baker Mayfield was being treated unfairly in Madden because of the way that he was playing in that Browns game. And then it's just continued. And it's almost like Madden has been the voodoo doll of Baker Mayfield's career so far. And it has not been very, very helpful. But anyway, that is another edition of
it'll be very, very helpful as we continue to fight for that number 1 overall draft pick.
Sure.
Who
Well,
knows?
it seems like there's a lot of choices this year. So number 1 is certainly the goal. But I tell you what, you pick it in that top 10, I think you have a good chance of getting one of those quarterbacks that could be game changers. So that's going to be it for the Carolina Panthers and the C3 Panthers podcast with the Madden simulation. We're going to be traveling to the Rams tomorrow at 4, another 4:00 game, another late post-game show. Cody Lackney hates it, but we're going to be here with you guys tomorrow. Be sure to hit that hit that subscribe button, and join us tomorrow for the Rams potential butchering of the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, then listen, make sure that you're here for that post-game therapy session. You have more fun coming to hang out with us than you do watching the Panthers lose, especially if it's a blowout. So come and be a part of it. We're always going to be here every post-game show, but we also make content year-round. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're updated every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. CK, it was great to hang out with you again. And once again, C3 Panther Nation, keep pounding.
Keep pounding.